to Full-Time Banter episode 20. My name is Liam.
And I'm Tarek.
And T, what is coming up on tonight's show?
Well, lots of exciting stuff. Pretty much the talk of Twitter Town. Basically, is it the end of the template? And all the talk this week has been about getting rid of the premium three that most people have got, Salah, AGUERO and Hazard, and who are the best replacements. So people have got mixed thoughts on this, and we may as well, before we carry on then, we've got to remember to like, share and subscribe.
We do.
Yeah, Riz isn't here again, supposed to be here, Riz, reminding of these things. Like, share and subscribe, follow us on Twitter at FullTimeBanter7. Like I say, lots of chat going on there, we can give you loads more useful information and direct answers straight on there. But that's going to be the main chat today. Before we get to that, we have to give you our Full-Time Banter top 10 after a torrid week. Game week 13 was not good at all, was it?
No.
So take us away, Liam.
Thank you, Tarek. Okay, so starting off the top 10 for the Full-Time Banter League, at number 10, dropping down a fair few places, is Tarek Nazir and the False 9 with only 35 points this week. I say only, I did equally appalling, mate, so no problems there. Bala Briggs and Anshar non-mover at 9 with 801 points. Ahead of him, 2 points up there, again a non-mover, Chris High and Shomi Damani. Adam Omar and his Metamorphosis Plus doing a bit okay there, a bit of a green arrow with 808 points in 7th place. And also the Toss My Salah. I'm not sure I moved that fancy that, mate. Omar Haluda, 812 in 6th. Down to 5, 815 points for Joe Gallagher and the Triple X. Down to 4, you talking to me, Gulshan Jane, 1 point ahead of 816. Bronze medal position this week, Bill City FC, Billy Mottram, 821. Bit of a gap then to 2nd place, Avis, Giroux Sandstorm, 837. And number 1, for it seems like it's going for pretty old Brian Adams wet thing here, Gunning San, Santosh Kana K, 889 points, unmovable, untouchable, fucking in the league.
Most definitely. Just like Brian Adams and just like wet. Got extremely annoying extremely quickly.
The fair play though, he's doing the business, isn't he?
He is, he's hanging on in there, increased his league, and you know, we'll go on to my team later, but yeah, the lowest points in the top 10. Not great, hanging on, but let's move on. Thank you very much for that, Liam.
Alright, thank you.
The lowest point scorer in the Full-Time Banter League this week is somebody who's previously been highlighted for lowest points, which is my friend Soban Bashir, a fellow Rochdalian, with Hasty Ents FC, who only scored 27 points. So yeah, commiserations. I can't say I'm pleased about scoring more than you, because at 27, 35, both appalling, Soban. And yeah, I mean, not much to tell for his team. He is making transfers still. I can't remember the one he made. I think he got Martial in this week. Bad week to get him in. And yeah, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Yeah, Aguero trolled us all, didn't he? Yeah, I would say wrong pick there.
Yes.
Awful Aguero, but his highest point scorer there was Virgil van Dijk, 6 points with a clean sheet. So
I wonder if there was any automatics looking at the bench.
There will have been.
Ozil was vice captain means there definitely was. Lacazette and Trippier, I would have expected them to be in the starting
lineup, but none of them played, did they?
No.
Yeah, so because I know Trippier's injured and Lacazette did not play. A DNP, a bit like in Formula 1 DNF, but they use a DNP. Subhan with Hasty FC 73rd. I think that's better than the last time we
yeah, that's quite high to be. Normally it's 101, 102 that we're getting the lowest points, so it's
pretty good. 655 points overall. So yeah, keep going, keep plugging away, Subhan. Yeah, hopefully get up there into the 50s. See how you do. Highest point scorer.
Yeah, highest point scorer this week is Neil Sheehan, and O'Doys are back in town.
O'Doys are back in town. Yeah.
So he's got 71 points this week with a bit of a radical 5-2-3 formation. Those wing backs bombing on. Big surprise for me there, and that is Wan-Bissaka.
Wambo,
yeah,
back in the action.
He's on my bench, but he's down at number 3 because I know that if it gets to the point where he has to play, he will. But there's other options ahead of him. So yeah, pretty cracking week. Alexander-Arnold doing the business there. Firmino, vice captain, 12 points, doubling up to 24. which was pretty damn fantastic. So the Liverpool lot really doing the business for him there, and paid off Ozil not playing.
Yeah, dug him out there, because I was going to say obviously Ozil is captain. Yeah, even then without the 12 points, and well, it would have been a bit less if Ozil had played. Still would have been a respectable score in the high 50s, early 60s.
Yeah.
So yeah, good going, Neil. 51st, 700 points, doing pretty good, pretty good. Riz, let's do Riz's while he's not here again. We have to cover for him. Riz actually got the highest points of the three of us, 59 points this week, without even really trying. Riz still has Mitrovic. Yeah, I don't know if he was even paying attention to his team. Yeah, but he did pretty well. He's up 4 places to 28th now, which is pretty good. 761 points total. Up, the only one of the three of us to get green arrows this week, up 72,000 to 273k overall, which is not bad. Moving up, respectable.
Moving on up.
I hate M people.
Yeah.
Especially
Which people?
M people.
I hate M people.
I hate M people. Yeah, especially that Hero song.
Yep. So Tarek hates M people. I hate my team. Lingardium Leviosa. Crock of shit. Tarek, go into your team. The fuck, I'm not going to say anything. What a bag of wank that was.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, I played Højbjerg. I'll focus on that. Maybe I thought it was Højbjerg from Futurama, I don't know. Put him in because I thought, against Fulham, not that Southampton are doing great, but potential's there. That's shat out. Put both Wolves in against Huddersfield. Fair play, Huddersfield doing the business.
Yeah.
But that went tits up as well. Aguero captain went tits up. Just a lot of tits up, really. Yeah.
It's the right con.
So down 7 to 61st, 676 points total. Down 332,000 to 1.75 mil overall. Ouch. Can't be fucking arsed. This game's shit.
Ouch, that hurts. Well, I did even...
Love hurts, Tarek!
It does. Love hurts, yes. I did even worse. 35 points.
That was a blessing, but it's...
3 points less, yeah. And absolutely awful. I mean, Laporte and Salah, basically. Aguero, massively trolled. Hazard, don't know what the hell Hazard was doing. But yeah, one's all over the place. Robertson, not much to tell really. I mean, Wolves, what the hell is going on with Wolves?
I was doing a bit of research before. No clean sheets in 5, I think it is. So when I was looking it up, and I was thinking, well, they must have something coming up. I think the fixtures, they play Chelsea and Liverpool at home, Spurs away in the next 7 games. Apart from that, Cardiff, Newcastle, Bournemouth, Fulham. So there's decent ones coming up. But
they were playing Huddersfield.
Yeah, I know. It pissed me right off. So they've sort of, even though they've got 3 tough fixtures coming up, the other ones that they've got coming, Cardiff, Newcastle, Bournemouth, Fulham. Normally I would be thinking, bag a couple of clean sheets in there, but now I'm tempted to bin them all off.
Yeah, absolutely awful. I mean, the Barclay experiment, well and truly failed. Yeah, I mean, that experiment showed is that Barclay's, not so good. I mean, in his defence, when I bought him in, it's been 3 weeks. He has been played in a different position to when he was scoring those points, but he's ready to be binned. Yeah, he's ready to be binned anyway. And Arnautovic injured again. Hopefully he comes back. He's still carrying that knock, and now he's got something else as well. But he's got good fixtures. Likewise, Wilson. He's got some tough ones, but I'm hoping Wilson will come back and do something. He's got City this week. He might sneak, and he odd one. I've got a feeling. He might do.
Sneaks
I'm
5.
hoping he does.
Sneaks 5, that'll do me.
But I'm down, as you saw, to 10th. 4 places down to 10th. Just about clinging on. 800 points total. Down 33k to 78k overall, which you'd still argue is respectable.
Yeah, interesting, because I got 3 points. I got 3 points more, but took a right hammering. So it makes you wonder what the teams further down have had to probably the Mitrovic.
That's it. Made the difference, didn't it? Yeah. So I mean, the only sliver of sort of grace, as it was, I was checking out, 78k is apparently still in the top 2% of players. So I'll take that. But The fixture's coming up now, thick and fast. There is a Friday fixture this week. Unlike last week, when I said there was a Friday fixture last week, there isn't. There wasn't. There is this week. So yeah, we're moving on. I mean, before we move on to the main point, like I said, the main point now is the template's changing. People are thinking now, they're getting on the bandwagon. Sterling is due to rise tonight. So at the end, I'll be going through what our plans are for the week ahead. One of them does involve Sterling. Before we get into all the stats and everything, we had Miguel, our friend Miguel. How are you, Miguel? Thank you for getting in touch via Twitter.
I recorded some words from Miguel because he'd said,
he's feeling left out.
Yeah. Sorry, Miguel. Lo siento, Miguel. Hola, my friend. ¿Cómo estás? Estoy mal en este momento porque mi novia me dejó y el trabajo es una mierda. Por suerte, tenemos cerveza.
Okay, something about beer.
Yes, you got the ending.
Yeah. Well,
I hope I said it all right, mate. Otherwise, Google translates. Don't blame me.
Right, well, Miguel says, anyway, yo, lads. How is life treating you in the world of FPL?
Shit.
Not so good.
Stop asking me, Miguel. It's always shit.
It really needs some practice. Yeah, he needs to watch some videos, get some tips. Yeah, but well, Miguel, he had 3 questions. He said, 3 questions, please. It's funny that he's asking questions, but he's asking a question. 3 questions, please. Key changes during 2 major derbies. Is it a must? So obviously he's referring to the Merseyside derby and the North London derby, will it be?
Yes.
No, just a London derby. Anyway, are they a must? Well, I'll address that one first, because I asked him to sort of explain himself on that, extrapolate a little more. And what he said was, what he meant, derby day can be tricky, as shown previously, form doesn't always count, which is true, very true. Example being Alisson, Robertson, Trent against Richarlison, Sigurdsson, etc. from Everton. Is there a risk of points if no clean sheet, rotation, etc.? And similarly, Spurs, Lloris, Trippier against Arsenal, Aubameyang, Lacazette. If you have 2 from each, or even 1, which 2 do you go for?
Bang them all in. Because if there's clean sheets, you're alright. If there's goals, you're alright.
Yeah, I mean, to look at them in a little more detail, I'd say...
As opposed to that just one line.
No, I mean, not that I'm going to go in a lot more depth, but from the Merseyside derby angle, yeah, I can see what you're saying, the danger of...
Because Everton always seem to really rise for that game,
and this is possibly the best Everton side, would you argue?
Since...
In recent times, in recent years?
Yeah, probably. Certainly at the minute with Richarlison playing further up the pitch.
Yeah, and Sigurdsson, he's doing really well.
Yes.
Yeah. So there is going to be a threat, but I trust our defence to keep a clean sheet there. I mean, our defence this year, we're all about defence. Would you believe it? How crazy is that?
I know, it's the right flip, isn't it?
Yeah, Liverpool are all about defence this year. Taking a leaf out of Jose's book. Not the whole book, just the first page. But yeah, similarly, Spurs and Arsenal. Now that's an interesting one, because I would put down Arsenal as the weakest of those 2 at the moment.
I would agree, yeah. Spurs seem to be on a bit of a turn, like we said, for the last couple of weeks.
Well, they smashed Chelsea last week.
They did, and that was a big turn, let's be honest. So, yeah, I would say Spurs definitely favourites, and I think this is Arsenal going through a bit of a litmus test again, because their season started in the 3rd week, we all know this. First 2 weeks were bust. They've had a mental unbeaten run, and now in the next few weeks they're coming up against sterner opposition, so it's going to be interesting to see how they do, but I would make Spurs favourites
in that. Similarly, yeah, because a few weeks ago, I mean last week's video, Miguel, we spoke briefly about Kane, and we said Spurs are getting better, a bit more consistent, they're getting the injured players back now as well, and Kane's stats are back to where they were last season. Previously they were half that, even lower. So yeah, Spurs' favourite. Defence, Arsenal are leaky, so inevitably I think they're going to concede, aren't they? But the point you make of Aubameyang and Lacazette, anything's possible there, isn't it?
Yeah, and again, it is derby day. I mean, Arsenal are at home. I'm not sure the Emirates lends itself to that tight atmosphere. They can swing things in derbies. But will that play a part?
Well, Spurs are essentially playing away all the time.
Dirty bastards. True. So yeah, it's no different for them, really, is it?
Yeah. So if you were to have two from each, or even one, which two would you go for? Well, I would definitely say Liverpool defence. Any of the Liverpool defence. His returns haven't been great aside from this free kick he scored this week, which, if I'm being critical, keeper's positioning or he was unsighted because the height was just there. It was perfect keeper height. Should have had that really. His positioning was better. But that aside, I'd go for a Liverpool defence and I would go for Spurs attack.
Spurs attack, definitely.
Yeah, and we're going to talk in more detail about that anyway, about the midfielders, which, well, he's gone on to say, let's see how we're doing for time. We've got a couple of minutes on this take. He says, Spurs look good against Chelsea. Are they back? Kane or one of the three in mid?
Middleton. Yeah, Kane does see. I mean, like I said last week, he has been doing all right. He's still up in, he was in the top 5 scorers for the season, and everyone was sort of saying, "Oh, he's not doing the business." He was still in there.
Yeah.
Kane definitely, like I said, with the return of players. I mean, I thought Ali did a good job at the weekend. I didn't think he had that in him, to be honest.
Dele Alli. Well,
yeah.
he has it, but it's been so long since we've seen it, really, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when he got into the England, before the England qualifiers last year, he was on fire, he was doing really well, wasn't he? So, I mean, it shows here, Miguel, unfortunately, that you haven't watched our last week's video because we discussed all this, we discussed Kane. But anyway, that aside, we're going to move on and talk about all the midfielders to replace the big three that are in there at the moment. Just this final point, he went on to say, Sterling, risk or reward, rotation versus points. We're going to discuss that coming up next. Right, so yeah, the main talking point this week, Salah, AGUERO, HAZ, which a lot of people have. They've got the highest ownership in the game. People are thinking of changing that template and getting rid of those players, namely for Sterling. Sterling is hot in demand, yeah, going up in price. Going up in price tonight, as we mentioned. But there's other midfielders, and there was a mention of a big 5, including Aubameyang and Kane as well. People asking how do we get them in, and we gave you a brief overview last week of what our plans were. Liam, anything you want to add on to that or start with initially, because Riz has been in touch. I've got the stats here for 8 midfield alternatives, and Riz has given us a bit of a breakdown on each of those as well. But anything you want to start off with?
I brought shit all.
Just yourself, is it?
Just myself, yeah. So obviously the midfield, Hazard and Salah, have they been doing the business recently? Hazard hasn't scored for, I think, 5 games, which, if I go back in my transfers, is probably when I brought him in. So it's not my fault, don't hate me. I think it's just an unfortunate coinky-dink. But he's also got this back problem, is it? He's got a bit of carrying Chelsea.
He's got a niggling back problem, and then he's got a sprained ankle now, but the sprained ankle should be okay, he should be playing this weekend.
Sprained ankle, my ass. So he's got that. He's also got the possible overtures of Madrid again. So is that turning his head? Shouldn't do in theory. You'd want to crack on and play to potential and get the most money out of him.
Sell himself, yeah.
Yeah. Salah, been ticking over, but if you look at it, I think he's going at a rate of 2 games on, 1 game off. Like for scoring, he seems to be in a decent pattern. I think this week he's due for not scoring. I think it is going off that the run that he seems to be in at the minute. But of the 2, I would say Hazard is the more one to be looking at
to get rid of. Yeah,
which surprised me, to be honest.
This is the dilemma. I mean, I may as well address it now and say what I'm planning to do. Been looking on Twitter. And the popular option is Hazard out, despite him having Fulham this weekend.
Yes.
Yeah. There's every risk. I mean, it depends what's happened. It's Champions League tonight. I'm missing the Liverpool game, but tomorrow's the Europa League, so we'll have to see what Arsenal and Chelsea do. So there's every risk he could possibly inflame his injury and end up missing the game, which I'll really regret. Because what I'm planning to do immediately after this show tonight is take out Salah for Sterling.
Ooh.
I am going to do it because, like I said on Twitter this week when I put up our teams, I said I've been playing it far too safe. I've been cruising, and maybe been fortunate.
I've been cruising. I got arrested for that. just go a bit faster than 5 miles an hour. That's my advice.
So yeah, need to take
Or
those
an A to
risks.
Z handy. That's
Yeah. A to Z, do they still use those?
Yeah, A to Z in the brain, mate. Fuck this. Google Maps.
Alright, well, anyway, getting back to the point. Getting rid of Salah, because I've weighed it up. Hazard will be going as well. But here's my plan tonight. Salah out for Sterling, Barkley out for Shaqiri. So I've still got Liverpool representation. And Shaqiri coming up with the fixtures, because there's midweek fixtures now. Remember this, beware. Friday night kickoff this week. Then there's Tuesday, Wednesday games. So we won't be able to obviously record for that game week. We'll be recording for game week 16. So they're coming thick and fast. So make sure you don't get caught out. So yes, Sterling out. I'm going to gamble it on Hazard against Fulham. See what happens. Then Shaqiri, and then the following week I will be getting rid of Hazard for SANE. And AGUERO out as well. So I will have 2 City. I will have Sterling and SANE. AGUERO will go because since that points haul, 20 points early back in game week 2 or 3, I've had nothing. I've had hardly anything off him. Nothing against Newcastle. Nothing. I mean, they blanked this week. They scored 4 bloody goals. And he's got nothing to do with any of them.
He didn't even assist, did he?
No, it's not good enough. So he is going. Last week I said I'm favouring Aubameyang over Kane, but let's see what happens. I did put in Kane in a mock team just to see, and I can afford him, so it can work. But I may be going for Aubameyang at the moment. But that's the plan. I've got until Tuesday for that. And the initial one tonight, like I said, Salah, Barkley out, Sterling in. So I'll have Sterling, Hazard and Shaqiri. That's my plans. What are you doing?
Well, I was thinking of going down the Hazard out for Sterling, so you've completely thrown me there. Like you said, the only thing that's looking at keeping him is the Fulham, because they're playing Fulham for Chelsea. Ideally, because I've only got 1 transfer and I want 2 in the back.
I have 2.
Hey. So, because it's Tuesday, I mean, the shitter is Sterling going up tonight. It sort of preempts anything that I was, any waiting around I was going to do. So Sterling's probably going to go in tonight. Looking at the fixtures, it's probably going to be for Hazard. For Salah.
For Salah, really, yeah.
But I don't know. Like you said, Hazard's pissing me off as well.
Hazard is the popular opinion. From what you see on Twitter, majority are taking Hazard out and risking the Fulham game, because Fulham have upped their game now as well, so it's not going to be a walkover.
No. And a bit of a derby again. So.
Still have Alonso, so the clean sheet will hopefully be there, unless Mitrovic puts a spanner in those works.
I have Barkley, so I'll get fuck all there. Probably won't play.
Probably won't play. But I've got a list here of 8 other midfield options, and we've got a bit of a breakdown for you. So if you're not sold on those, I'm going to give you the breakdown on all of those. We'll go through them one each, and you can tell us, let us know what you're going to do. Get in touch via the comment section on the channel or through Twitter. Yeah, so here we go then. First one up, Raheem Sterling, 11.3, going to go up to 11.4 tonight. He has 7 goals, 6 assists. His points per million is 8.6. So a brief explanation if anyone's not familiar with points per million. It basically represents value. The money you're spending, how many points are you getting back? So you want that number to be as high as possible, and 8.6 is, I think, possibly the highest.
Yes.
It is fantastic. Anyway, basically he's on record to match Salah's last season if he carries on at this rate. He's got a higher point ceiling for me than Salah has, because Salah this season is playing as the number 9. I don't know if you've noticed, Shaqiri has become near enough a regular starter. Salah's the number 9, Firmino's the number 10 behind him this season, and Mane on the left. So that was my, the reason that swayed it for Salah for me. But as I say, 7 goals, 6 assists, 8.6 points per million. The pros for Sterling are he's fixture proof pretty much, even though I think he played 70 minutes yesterday for City. But Mahrez and Sane played as well, so I think he is going to start against Bournemouth. He may not play the full match, but he's going to start, I think. because City are scared of us in the league this season. They've fielded stronger teams in the league than they have in the Champions League. He's a bonus points magnet, basically meaning that he's taken a lot more shots. He's a lot more prolific than Salah or Kane, and they're not as precise. Hence, he's getting the bonus points because he is taking more shots even despite not scoring them all. He's second for goals, first for assists. He's got 4 double-digit hauls, which is fantastic. Which for Salah, we've only got if we captained him. Yeah. And he's got 3 out of 5 home matches coming up, which is kind of irrelevant because City are essentially fixture-proof. Whoever City play,
They don't seem to be having any problems against any team, apart from Leon.
Yeah, Leon is a bogey team.
And Celtic.
And the only con is that obviously it's a City, so it's potentially rotation prone, which I think is inevitable in this congested fixture line.
Over Christmas, I think everybody's a bit rotation prone, aren't they?
Riz's thoughts on him. The Premier League player of the season so far, he asks. Sterling has 3 goals and 5 assists in his last 4. The numbers speak for themselves. Only fear is rotation, as we've said. What are your thoughts on him? You're going for him anyway?
He will be coming in at some point. If he's only 0.1 rise, I might even leave it tonight.
You got money in the bank.
I'm just throwing some balls then.
Hey. Anyway, right.
That's fucking time.
Next one,
Sadio Mane, 9.9 million, 6 goals, 2 assists. Points per million, 5.9, so pretty good, not too bad on that. Liverpool's fixtures, good from now until game week 20. So what game week is this? We're in 14?
14.
So the next 6, which probably takes us up to about January, just after Christmas.
I think it's up to New Year, up to the Christmas fixtures and stuff.
So they are looking pretty tasty for Liverpool, unfortunately. He's a guaranteed starter at the minute, nailed on. High ownership, you've done a crazy symbol there, rank going down if you don't have.
Yeah. Basically, I mean, if he does haul, if he does get points, because of his high ownership, if you haven't got him, you're going to suffer.
True that.
Yeah, carry on.
Sorry, mate. So price-wise, 3 million cheaper than Salah, and I should point out that everybody on here will be cheaper than Salah, and everyone near enough doing the business. But I keep saying that tonight, doing the business. What the fuck have I been watching? So 3 million, a lot cheaper than Salah. Bad points, Firmino and Shaqiri can cover Liverpool attack. Again, I think we're just going to have to accept rotation over Christmas, aren't we? There's no point in getting Unicas in a twist about it. Very inconsistent, can be hot and cold, a bit like the old Katy Perry song. But the bright spark is, if you do have him in when he's hot, you're going to reap the rewards, aren't you?
This is it though, because I'm going to read what Riz says. I agree with Riz here as well. He said that Mane is inconsistent in my opinion so far. Very true. Absolutely agree with that. His stats are showing that he could blow up any minute. He could get a big points haul, but he's just been too inconsistent. That's what's put me off having him, taking Salah out and putting him in previously. Because I've been, like I say, I say near enough every week for the past 4 weeks now, I'm going to take Salah out. And I haven't done for that reason, because I haven't seen a viable alternative. But with 2 assists against Watford, and on his day a real game changer, and Liverpool seemingly clicking in terms of getting results when it matters, he's one to watch. He's 4th with 77 points, and may seem an alternative if you need more funds ahead of Sterling and Hazard. So good points, but for me, personally, Mane is a no-go. The next option up, David Silva. He's 8.6 million. I think he has just gone up last night. I think he went up last night, possibly. He's got 5 goals, 2 assists. His points per million is 6, so just that touch higher than Mane. He's got set-piece duties, fixture-proof because he's with City. Cheaper than most of the City assets, which is very true, as you'll see. Apart from the ones like Gundogan or Bernardo Silva, potentially you don't want. And 25 points in the last 3 matches, I think that's supposed to represent. I've just been brief with these notes. And again, rotation prone. And Riz, what does Riz say about our Mohamed Salah? Let's have a look. Not Mohamed Salah. David Silva, he says it's genius. 3 and 3. City's midfield hero, outstanding alongside Bernardo Silva. He can pack a punch and be a difference, as it looks like Pep favours him the most in midfield. And he does, really, because he's got a mature head on him, hasn't he? And he is a magician with the ball. And he's spoken about this week, Pep, saying Sane, as good as he is, still lacks a bit of maturity and mental...
Yeah, I think there's players... I think players sometimes get to a season and everyone sits up and goes, they're the bollocks. I think Carrick had it really towards the end of his career, that people suddenly went, Carrick's amazing. And you went, yeah, you knew that.
Yeah.
And I think the Silva is baffling me this. Everyone's buzzing off him because he's been amazing. Potentially, I've heard some City fans call him City's best ever player.
I think you could
even ahead of ones like Summerby from the 60s, Colin Bell, Kanchelskis, that's United in the 90s.
Played for City as well.
Yeah.
He did. Did you not know that? He played for City, just like not David Seaman.
Schmeichel.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Next one.
I think he's the only player to play in the Merseyside, Manchester and Old Firm derbies. Everton, United and Rangers.
Right. Next one up.
Bit of trivia. I'll pub quiz you on.
Come on, yeah. Dele Alli.
Number 4, Dele Alli, 8.9 million, 2 goals, 2 assists, points per million, 4.7. So not doing as well as others on the list, but again, that's Spurs.
He's just coming back. Well, he's just coming back as well, Dele Alli, isn't he? He's not played anywhere near as much as the others.
But Spurs are back in form. Nailed on starter, so now he is fit. He will be on the starting 11 on the team sheet, no doubt about that. Spurs fixtures during December are very, very good, so favourable for them. Differential option, only 2.7% of ownership. So if you want to try and beat the trend, stay ahead of the curve, which to be honest I'm looking at doing stuff outside of the box at the minute, because following what everybody else seems to be doing isn't working, so potential there. The downside is 37% of the points he's got have come against Chelsea at home. What a very specific stat. So he's had one brilliant game and not done a lot in the other ones that he's been in, but hey, that happens, especially when he's not been playing so much.
So you've got to bear that in mind, yeah.
So Spurs could be possible rotation because of the Champions League. We don't know about that. Don't know how they're doing tonight. They might not even be in the Champions League longer, but they're in the Europa League, and that could be even worse.
That's a point. I need to look up the Liverpool results as well as we go. I'll do that as we're coming up. I'll tell you what Riz is saying later, because Riz addresses all three Spurs midfielders, which is very handy, answering Miguel's question as well. I'll tell you what he says after we've been through the rest, because I've sort of ordered these in preferential order as to who I think would be most favourable options to go for. Number 5 is Gylfi Sigurdsson, the Icelander at Everton. 7.4 million. I think he's gone up recently as well. 6 goals, 2 assists, points per million of 6.6. He's a starter every game week. Arguably, you could say he's a talisman for Everton ahead of Richarlison. He's certainly doing the business better than he is. Only 7.4 million. Good BPS average, which is the bonus points. So he's getting good, decent points, bonus points return. More points than Richarlison, as I just mentioned. He's on set pieces. The only downside for Gylfi is he's playing the top 6 in 3 out of the next 5 fixtures. Is that an issue? Obviously Liverpool up the following game week.
Yeah, so you could probably maybe chalk that one up with it being a derby, because it could, like we said earlier on, it could swing in Everton's favour. Apart from that, Everton's record against the top 6, it's not great, really.
It's not. Defensively, they're still the problem, aren't they? Pickford's not as good as he thinks he is. Yeah, I mean, I really don't rate him.
You've not held back on that, mate. It's not. I think every time his name gets mentioned, it's pretty.
Don't like him. But attacking wise, I think whoever they're playing, they've got a chance of scoring something, doing something.
Yeah, and I think players that are on set pieces, you always want them in your team, because all it takes is one. Even if they're 3-0 down, if they get one chance of a set piece free kick and it goes in, more potential for points. So number 6, Leroy Sane, 9.3 million, 5 goals and 6 assists, points per million of 8.4. With Mendy being injured for the next couple of weeks, he's more likely to be starting. and with City being fixture proof, like we said earlier with Sterling, that will obviously be helping them. And in general, I think whoever City play, they're not going to be in trouble.
Yeah.
Really, are they? And again, a bit like Dele Alli. What was Dele Alli? 2.7. Sane's 4.9 ownership, 4.9% owned. So, yeah, potential there if you want to get ahead of the curve again.
Yeah. So what Riz is saying about Sane is that if Sane was guaranteed first team football, he would be an instant buy. His talent came to the fore once again with a huge display against West Ham, and he's rapidly growing into an influential player at City. I mean, it's worth saying, Riz, that over these next few fixtures, congested fixture lineup, I think everyone's prone to rotation. Sane will possibly be getting a few more starts alongside Mahrez possibly, but he is a rotation risk with Mahrez, but still worth the punt, I reckon.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that, especially with Mendy being injured, like we've already said, as well. And T's just covered. It's Christmas. It's right. We keep saying it, but so you don't get angry on there. So keep you cool.
Yeah.
So we're just going to go over a couple now. Sorry, it's you, isn't it? Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, a couple more. Your old friend Christian Eriksen.
Yeah, my boy.
9.2. Yeah, I mean, Liam had him early part of the season, and here's what he returned for Liam: 0 goals, 4 assists, and a points per million of 4.5.
Good return, that mate.
He is a nailed-on starter. That's one of his pros. Spurs are getting back in form. Great fixtures during December, and on their form, I think possibly to be fair on Eriksen, with Dele Alli out, we've spoken about this before, he was played in a deeper central role. He wasn't playing the usual number 10, so things could change. He might come back into the fore with those assists. I mean, he's not on set pieces though, that's a downside.
No, that's Trippier now, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think I pulled the stat out of my hat a few weeks back at the start of the show, to be honest. He's not scored from a free kick in the league for about a couple of years,
God
I think.
knows how long, yeah, something like that. And with the Champions League, possible rotation, but I can't see who they might rotate Eriksen for. But
no,
possibly Dembele or someone like that. But that side at the moment, for me personally, not a consideration, especially not at that price and not with those stats. But one to keep your eye on. I mean, I put these lower end ones. Him and Ozil, if you want to...
Yeah, Mesut Ozil is the last of these 8. You know, Ozil's a bit of a wild card option. Not the don't bring your wild card out just to bring him in. That's not what I mean. So Ozil is 8.3 million, 3 goals, 1 assists, and points per million of 4.1. So worse than Eriksen, despite having 3 goals and then assist, which you would expect to be better. So he's got 3 double-digit points hauls, which is pretty good. Long-term fixtures for Arsenal look fantastic. On the flip side of that, short-term is bad, but get through those couple of weeks and it should be all right. Plus point is it doesn't go for international games. I mean, to be fair, I don't think there's another break now till March. Yeah. Is there? But yeah,
he doesn't play anyway, does he?
No. So he's going to be nicely rested after causing a big hoo-ha with the old German FA over there. Averages 12 assists a season, so that's roughly 1 every 3 games. But we're about 12 games in, I think, something around there. 10,
and he's not on track so far for that.
Yeah, only 1 assist so far. And he's also blanked in 8 out of 11 games this season. So Ozil, I would say, is a definite no-no, and Eriksen is a potential yes.
Maybe no yes.
For down the line, I don't mean...
You had one more?
I just miss him. Yeah, so I've got one more. I think Riz did too. The one for me is purely to keep some Chelsea in there, and it is Willian. If we're looking at possibly getting rid of Hazard, Willian plays every game, so he's either getting brought on or he's starting.
Right.
And 7.4 million, so he's around that bracket of the 7 million with your Madisons and your ones of that ilk, your Martials. So 7.4 million, 51 points, and he would be coming in, and if he did, then Barkley would move out for somebody else in the next transfer, because he does appear to be getting minutes every week and starting, and 51 points for 7 million, 7.4. That's not a bad return.
Pretty
so
good, pretty
I
decent.
kind of wish I hadn't told you that in case he starts banging him in.
Yeah. Well, here's another one. Riz has given us another outsider. It is Felipe Anderson of West Ham, who is 7 million. and he is the joint top scorer on 54 points with Arnautovic for West Ham. And very low ownership, still only 4.9%, even though I've seen him in a few teams on Twitter. So still a very big differential. And West Ham's fixtures are, they're okay. It's just West Ham are up and down. They can be a bit hot and cold sometimes as well. But one to consider if you need, a little enabler. Like I'm going for Shaqiri for Liverpool cover. But if you want somebody a bit outside, look at Felipe Anderson, very viable option. Riz says about him, 2 big performances. Made FPL managers take notice of him, very true. Blanks against City, however, a real differential away from Fraser, Maddison, Brooks, Martial. If you've got those in currently.
The more popular 7 million.
True, yeah. A point on those, a few weeks ago we tipped Barclay, Brooks and Martial. And of those I brought in Barclay. You brought in Barclay as well. But unfortunately, the ones who are looking like the better picks of those are Brooks and Martial. Definitely Brooks. He looks lively for the money he is as well. I think he's still only 5-1, something like that. Very cheap. And Martial, yeah, fair enough. He's not produced his past couple of weeks when people have eventually jumped on the bandwagon 3 weeks after we tipped him. But I think he'll come good. And United's fixtures, we've got this stat here that they're playing in the next 8 matches. 5 of them are against the bottom 6 teams.
Yeah, so hopefully that combined with last night's bottle destroying by Mourinho is a bit of a turning point behind.
Wow, I'll be honest, boost beating young boys. Must be on an absolute high.
If you look at your fucking European Cup fixtures in the 70s, you're playing teams from everywhere. Fucking Bangor City and
we did better than 1-0 though.
That's what you made your bread and butter, you the bloody arsehole.
Anyway,
so United, hopefully, time for a bit of a purple patch. If you can't do anything against the bottom teams, then that's going to be a bit shitter for us. So hopefully they can get something out of those 5 games against the bottom 6.
Yeah, so we're nearly done there. I'll put up a few of the pictures throughout that you put up last week, some tables about defensive stats and things like that, who's looking best defensively, fixtures coming up, and the differentials which I put up last week. In fact, it might be easier if you go back to last week's video, watch that and take a screenshot, because
you lazy bugger.
Well, no, it's not just that. It's not just that. It's because it was relevant to last week, because it said it gave their prices, ownership and points for the last 3 game weeks as of last week. So it'll just mean I'll have to update everything. It's more work. Yeah, so either do it yourself or go back and watch that video, whichever's easier. But we'll finish on our plans for next week. Game week 15 we won't be able to record for it because we'll be recording during it. Tuesday and Wednesday we record on Wednesday, so we'll be recording for game week 16. So my plans for the next 2 game weeks is, as I've already mentioned, tonight Salah is going out for Sterling, Barclay is going out for Shaqiri. Then before Tuesday for game week 15, Aguero is going out for either Aubameyang or Kane. I haven't decided yet, it's going to be one of those 2. And Hazard will be going out for SANE. So I will still have a City triple up alongside Laporte. Yeah, so SANE, Sterling, Laporte. And Liverpool cover. Looking ahead further than that, I'm actually looking at getting a set and forget keeper, because this rotation thing is doing my head in. Whoever I put in is not getting me points. Lately I've got Fabianski or Patricio. And the way Wolves are going, my Wolves triple up is not working out at all.
No. Although they've got a couple of weeks with Cardiff and Newcastle to potentially turn it around. But
let's see.
You'd say off camera that Chelsea is the one where they'll probably clean sheets and assist
yeah, they've got Cardiff away, Newcastle at home and Chelsea away, and yeah, they might get something.
So set and forget for you then with keepers?
Yeah. I won't be able to go with City obviously, because I'll have already had 3 City players, so unless I get rid of Laporte, which I'm not likely to do. So either Alisson if I can afford him, or Kepa, or who's my third option? I was considering Lloris at Spurs. Yes, outside option. I've not checked the prices on these. This is a long-term plan that I'm looking at, and alongside that, I'll probably get rid of Bennett for Yedlin or Fernandez from Newcastle. Yeah. You favour Duncan Duffy.
I do. A bit of Brighton, cheeky bit of Brighton.
I like a bit of Rafa. Yeah, so I'm going for well, whichever team Rafa manages at the time, I'll be going for his players. Keeping Doherty. Your plans?
My plans, yeah. So probably getting rid of Salah tonight for Sterling. That I've got money in the bank already. To be honest, I'm kind of tempted to leave Salah till after this game because it's only going to be 0.1 rise till the next set of games on Tuesday, Wednesday have gone. But after that, if he doesn't do anything, it'll definitely be out for Sterling. Got enough money to swap Aguero for Kane.
Right.
So that is looking likely as well after that. Williams probably coming in at some point for Barkley. And I need a bit of money. I need to. I don't know. Do I look at my team and I'm like, I'm not happy with it. I seem to have sort of stumbled into a shit team. The team's good.
It happens, doesn't it? It sneaks up on you.
Yeah, the team's alright, but it just. I look at it and I go, how the heck has it come to this? Yeah. So so there's some major overhaul.
Well, this is the beauty of FPL, isn't it? It's constantly in flux, and same as football, any team. They say if you're standing still, you're going backwards.
Yeah, I'm fan fluxed at the minute.
So that is us pretty much. I don't think we've got anything else to mention. Captain's picks for this weekend, have you considered it?
Chelsea against Fulham. I know Fulham have sort of improved a bit, but...
Yeah, I mean, I've got Alonso and Hazard still. Hazard, because of what he did against Spurs, I'm scared of captaining him. And I will have Sterling and Aguero, and I'm wondering whether one of those two is a better option.
Probably Sterling, if you're going down that route.
Because even if Hazard does do something, a lot of people are getting rid of him, so it'll still be a bonus.
Yeah, it won't be as bad as if everyone keeping him, like you're saying. Yeah, everyone around you.
Yeah, so you.
Depends if I get rid of Salah or not, and then I'll have to take it from there. But yeah, like you said, Hazard, not filling me with confidence. But
he's not. No.
If I've got Sterling, it'll be Sterling. If not, probably Salah. I like it for defence. Yeah. I'm going to the defence. I need to do something different.
Somebody captained Wolves' defence against Huddersfield. Poor sods. Yeah. I mean, not that it made a massive amount of difference.
To be fair, I was looking at going down that.
Did you mention it?
I think I did, yeah. It was a viable sort of option. I would have thought anyway.
Yeah. But that is us anyway. Hope you've enjoyed the show. If you do have any questions in between, because as I say, we won't be filming for game week 15. So if you have any questions, either put them on Twitter, get on Twitter. You can get in touch with us there, direct message me or whatever, always get back. Or through the YouTube channel, leave it in the comment section. I get a notification straight away as soon as someone comments, and I can answer any questions there, hopefully. So, don't forget the midweek games, and we will see you next week.
Cheers, guys.
Bye-bye.